Welcome, everybody. I'm fine, and welcome to Things That Are Amazing with Paint. Oh, isn't this great and amazing? And look at this watch. I bought it yesterday. It's an amazing watch. Now, I want to introduce you to an amazing guy. He's led an amazing life, and he's done some really amazing things, and he's gathered all of our amazing guests today in this amazing studio. Isn't it amazing? Here he is. Please welcome Howard Jew. Howard Jew.
I'm fine.
Yes, amazing. What amazing guests have you gathered for us here today?
Well, today I've got three of the greatest decorative painters you've ever seen, Chaim, just to show you how simply wonderful and exciting it is to paint furniture.
And we're going to visit with each of them.
Oh, yes, they truly do amazing things with paint on some very inexpensive pieces of furniture.
So you mean our viewers, these people out there in the dark, could be doing this same thing?
Absolutely, Chaim. So would you like to meet our first guest?
Yes, I would.
Let's get going here, then. Our first guest,
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Well, our first guest is Marcy Hartman.
Let's get started. Come
Marcy,
on.
how are you?
Marcy.
Nice to meet you. Oh, boy. I like getting a kiss from the ladies.
Next.
Now, our next guest is Bill Russell from Bill Russell Studios.
Bill.
Bill, how are you? Nice to meet you.
And next,
our third and final guest is Charlotte Belote from Take It for Granted. Hello, Charlotte. How are you?
Charlotte, honey.
Stop groping with the guests, please. All right, now let's get started.
Yes.
Let's meet our first guest.
Okay, Howard.
This is Marcy Hartman of Marcy Hartman Company in Bala.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Marcy.
Marcy.
How are you?
You sort of do some kind of modern, geometric Memphis-type designs, don't you?
Yes.
It's great. It's
Thanks,
good. As a matter of fact, it's amazing. Here's one of the things you've done.
Now, we're looking at this, and it's a headboard, but I've never seen a headboard like this in my entire life. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whose headboard is this?
I made this for my daughter.
You made it?
Mm-hmm.
You made it? That's
Yes.
amazing.
You put lots of extra stuff on it, and you've painted it.
Yes. This is a piece, actually it's a piece of plywood and a lot of molding that made the design, just different configuration, and it all started with those black and white poles.
The black and white poles?
So
Yeah.
what are you going to be doing for us today?
Today I'm going to do this frame, I guess mirror frame.
And where do you find your stuff?
This piece I actually found at an auction.
And it's a Queen Victoria kind of frame.
Yeah.
I would recognize that.
So first you've primed it.
I filled in the cracks, I sanded it, I primed it. Now I'm going to put on probably 2 coats of this blue.
This lovely blue here. I really enjoy that color, yes.
Now,
Shows
this
good
may
with the
change.
suspenders, too.
Yeah, show us some of the materials and how you work off. Is that a palette down there?
Yeah, this is a piece of glass, just
piece
a
of
regular
glass.
piece of glass.
And you have a razor blade there. Is that from,
Yes.
I imagine, now I'm not an expert, but I imagine that's for skimming off the paint.
Yeah, it's real nice because if you wet the acrylic, it bubbles up and it comes off real easy.
It's really amazing, Marcy.
So I can use it over and over and over.
So you're going to be decorating this vertical
Yeah, I'll
here?
kind of do a version of that using the molding that's existing.
And you paint, would you say, as the muse hits?
Oh, absolutely.
So the colors are spontaneous?
They're spontaneous until I don't like them, and then I can change
Okay,
it.
well, let's see you paint then.
Okay.
And we'll
Yeah,
go on
let's-
to our next guest.
Let's get started.
Great.
Painting on the blue.
And this is
Well,
acrylic paint.
it needs 2 coats. This is the
Okay,
second
well, let's
coat.
leave her, and let's meet our next guest, Bill Russell.
Okay.
Of Bill Russell Studios in Northern Liberty. Hello again, Bill.
Guys, how you doing?
Hi, Bill.
Hey.
Hi, Bill. Here's some great finished products.
Thank you. Yeah, these are a couple pieces here. Got a little box and a great little 1950s end table.
Beautiful. And what kind of designs have you put on these?
Well, this is called vinegar painting.
Vinegar
With
painting.
real vinegar?
With real vinegar.
I thought it was lunch I was smelling.
No, real vinegar, and we mix that with pigments, and we put those materials on, texture them. If we want to step over, I could show you later on a little bit how we do that.
Well, where did you find these originals?
Oh, thank you. This is a little box I picked up at a thrift shop. Probably a little homemade guy.
Like a
somebody
jewelry
did.
case of some sort.
Yeah, it could be great for storing just about anything in there.
It's amazing.
And this piece got at an auction, a little table here.
Kind of a
Great
nightstand.
little one-drawer nightstand, but wonderful little 50s design.
Well, let's see how you get to working on this.
Okay,
Let's follow
great.
you over to your
Okay.
station.
Okay, this is sort of the way we find things. A lot of times they look pretty messed up, and
That's amazing.
we start with this kind of awful finish here, and we take that off, do a priming, base color, and we lay on some color and varnish, and we end up with this type of finish
And you
over
have
here.
a pinstriping there, double pinstriping.
Do a little pinstriping, some taping, yep.
And here's some more of your
Yeah, these are
great
some
work.
samples here, just trying out some different colors on the piece that I'm going to be working on later.
A lot of blues and
Trying to
greens.
see, what works best with what color. So we laid these out, did the coloring on these, and finished them off, and now I'm going to pick one of these and go ahead with it.
And now you have a door here that I see
That's
is
right.
taken off a regular cabinet,
Right.
and you've primed it, and you've laid down your foundation color of green.
Right.
And now you're ready to show us the amazing vinegar painting. Is that it?
Done one other thing. I put a little taped line on here and then painted over the tape. Later on, we'll peel that off, and you'll see how that looks when it comes out.
Amazing.
Well, get started, Bill,
Okay.
and we'll be back to you soon.
Great.
We'll be back to
Thank
follow you
you.
along. Now
Okay.
let's go meet our third guest, Charlotte Pilote from Take It For
Hi.
Granted in Philadelphia.
And you're sponging, Charlotte.
Yes, yes.
Sponging.
Furiously.
The kind you would use when you take a bath?
No, it's a sea sponge. It grows in the ocean. At the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, you can
yeah.
take a bath in the ocean, I guess. Anyway,
Look,
you're
this
doing
looks
a technique
amazing.
now.
That's centuries old,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, yes.
And you just
Billions
Taught
of years
this,
old.
and you do it professionally.
Yes, I do it in my sleep.
You do.
Yeah,
You do so
exactly.
much of it.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And here's one of your finished products.
That's right. That's
This is
right.
an actual granite. I thought it was real granite when I first saw it.
Well, it is fake, real.
Well, I
granite.
took it for granted.
There
Let's
you
put
go.
it that way.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah,
You have an amazing watch, too. You know, mine's
Hey, that's amazing.
Both amazing watches.
Yes, mine. Yeah.
So now when you get to the sponging,
So
you get it to where you like it, is that it?
I try to give it a sense of depth. Yeah, I get it to where I like it. I'm working on a color specific to a house right now on for a piece of furniture. So I try to give it a sense of depth, and I add a light ground, a middle ground, and then we'll come back with some dark highlights here.
Now, what is this finish good for? What would you say it would be good for? For tabletops?
A
or-
lot. Sure, tabletops, countertops, windows, sills, frames,
Window sills.
baseboards.
And we'll
That's
come
right.
back to
I
this.
think shoes.
Shoes would be a fun.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Now, we'll come back to you in progress, and the final step, I mean, you put a protective coating on this, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely, yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
the black. It looks
Yes.
amazing, truly amazing.
We're getting there. It's layers. It's a matter of layers.
And what kind of paint are you using?
Oil-based.
This is all oil-based.
Oil-based paint, that's
And
exactly
the oil
right.
base, is there a difference between using the oil and the acrylic?
I think there is. There's a difference in the quality of the color, and there's a difference in drying time, and there's a
that's-
difference in how the paint flows. It fans out a little bit more gently, freely with oil-based paint. It'll hold its.
Well, that's amazing.
Thank you. We'll be
Thank you.
back
We'll
to
be
you
back
soon,
to visit
Charlotte.
you.
Yes.
All right, now.
And Howard, I bet it's really hard to find all these materials and paints, and you probably have to order special, some very expensive fancy kits.
That's where you're wrong, Chaim. You see, because these things can be purchased anywhere in any paint store in the entire world.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Stay tuned. There's more amazing things to come.
You better believe it.
Howard, you.
Look, we see the work is in progress now. She's laying on some color. She's got a beautiful... Watch the hair, Chaim. You don't want blue hair.
Yeah, Marcy, you've decorated it with a lot of lovely top undercoats, and now...
She's putting on some black little ditties up
Little
there.
thing- yeah, detail stuff.
Little detail stuff to make it
Yeah.
fanciful.
And now what are you going to do?
Well, I have all this surface to work with, so,
Yeah. So
I
what
can
would
do
you
all
use?
kinds of things. Depends on what's usually immediate, so let's do some.
You're using the paintbrush on the end of the hand.
You're just dipping in your thumbprint.
Why,
That's
look at that. That's amazing.
You've done that before?
Sure.
Wow.
And you can use anything, you can go further, detail the area, leave it.
So this
Chaim,
would,
you
make
could
it-
use the tip of your nose.
this would not be a decorative finish for a convicted felon on the run, I guess.
Now, where do you get the inspiration for this piece?
The piece.
The piece
Actually,
itself?
Yeah.
I know you remarked, you were talking about the bed before and you found those columns. You said that began it.
Yeah, somebody gave me the columns, and I needed to use them.
Well, let's
So you just
continue
had to
with the
build
thumb.
something from the
From the-
columns. And with this, you just have the mirror. Have you added anything onto the mirror?
No, but I can.
Oh, really?
Sure.
So you can
And we
build
can add-
from the mirror.
Yeah, you can do, all this was here. So now I can go and I can fill in here with moldings like I used on the bed, circles, squares, whatever I find I can take from other pieces.
So are you going to do just your thumb work here, or are you going to continue
No,
it
I'll
here?
probably continue up, but I'll probably detail a little more in that area.
Will there be any equal time for the other fingers on the hands?
Well, I don't know if they vary that much.
Well, we'll come back
We'll
and
get
we'll
back
visit
to
you
you,
soon.
Marcy.
Very good.
Okay,
Let's
keep
go see
working.
Bill
Keep
Russell now.
working.
Okay, Bill, now we're for
guys.
you and the vinegar painting.
Yeah.
Now, what you're doing here is...
I'm going to mix up a little of the paint here. This is just powdered pigment. Buy this at the art supply store.
Artist dry colors, yes.
And a tuna can.
And a tuna can with a couple little notches to hold my brush. See? Nice, huh?
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Little vinegar in here.
Just
This is,
plain, ordinary vinegar, not balsamic.
apple cider vinegar.
No? Okay.
Apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to stir that up just to create a sort of milky consistency.
Now, you're going to put this purple on the green?
Now, I'm going to put this purple on here just to give a little demo. And then I have a custom color mixed up here. Now, you can see this is very liquid. And so that's going to allow me to move it around in different sorts of ways. And I could texture this with a brush. I'm going to piece of plastic here right now I'm going to try.
Okay.
And I'm just going to move this through. Okay.
Aha.
And depending on how wet this material is, it's either going to flow back a little bit or it'll take the texture. But that's the idea with the plastic. I could use a brush. I could use my fingers as well. I could use any number of things.
So what will you use on the wood itself?
Okay, now I'm ready to go on the piece of wood, and I have a color that I've already mixed up from 3 or 4 different pigments. This is some violet, some black and white.
And all of
sort
these
a
colors,
grayer.
as we said, can be found in the art supply store or any paint store. Truly.
Right,
Let's get cracking.
Now, what I've got here is a piece of glazing compound. This is the stuff you use if you're glazing.
For glazing
windows.
windows. Yes.
Glazing your windows. Kind of a Play-Doh-y
But I don't
sort of
see any
material.
windows here.
No windows, just a piece of furniture here. And I'm going to brush this on, okay? Again, it's very wet. You can see it's
Kind of a grayish...
violet, gray violet.
Looks
yes.
lovely.
Yeah. Not much in itself, but when I mix it over top of the green, it's going to come up a little bit more violet.
I see.
All right, I'm going to brush that on, let it flow out there.
Okay.
I'm going to take my glazing compound, and I'm going to do sort of what I did with the plastic, okay? I'm going to move that through there.
That is
and
truly
create-
amazing. Look at that.
Amazing.
Can you see that?
So it's picked up the violet, and you can see the
Let's see
grain running through.
Right, okay?
Well, we're going to come back to you, Bill, and we're going to see, I hope, a beautiful finished product.
piece, right.
Thank you,
Okay,
Bill.
guys.
Let's
See you
go
later.
visit Charlotte now.
Charlotte,
Hi.
what are you doing? You're
Look at that.
spattering.
That's
I'm having
I better stand
fun.
over here.
Back off, that's right.
So
Whoa.
this spattering technique, you're just knocking that paintbrush that has some white paint on it against your finger, and it's just spattering onto what you've already laid down.
Bingo.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yes. This is to give it detail on the very
Tell
surface.
me when you're done spattering there, love, so I can come in. I don't want
Okay,
right rain
I think
on
I'm
me.
done.
Okay.
Now I'm going to soften it. I've added little spatters to give a surface quality so it has a sense of real depth, like cut stone. And now I'm going to soften those so you get irregular shapes, just like real stone.
I can't believe it.
And when this dries, I'll put a clear coat over the surface to give it that surface-like cut stone.
And you're using a new sponge now.
is that
Yes,
one
this
you've
is,
washed?
this is a clean stone, exactly. I mean, clean sponge with thinner in it to make the paint flow a little. Here.
So now, okay.
And then what comes next?
Then we'll put a clear coat finish on the top to give it a surface that is reflective like real stone. And then you give me your shoes.
Well, my shoes. You did see the watch, though.
Yes, we've
you
seen
did
the watch.
See the watch.
The watches
You'll make
are
my
amazing.
shoes amazing. Time for the audience.
Let's go to the audience. Well, what do you think, love? What do you think about all these beautiful, exciting guests we have?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm
All right, love,
speechless.
we understand. What's your name, dear?
My name is May.
Well, what's your full name?
May Zing.
May, how would you?
I'm fine. Yes. Marcy, what are you up to now?
Well, I'm almost finished.
Oh, it's very colorful, too. It looks amazing.
And little white marks in the black squares.
So the black squares are what? A brush mark?
Yeah, just this little brush, and then,
And then the,
flat
edge with the white.
Show us
Yeah.
how you make the black mark.
Well, let's see. Just,
So it's just the flat of the brush. Oh, a square?
yeah.
And then a white dot in the
And then
middle.
you can just go. like
That's
that.
amazing.
Amazing.
And you've put red marks in the yellow dots.
Yeah, I used a palette knife for that. I had that around. So I just dipped the end in. And just real free form. Try
You know, Chaim, I think Marcy may be able to add a little bit more color to that sweater of yours.
Oh, no, not this. I paid $78 for it.
$78?
That's amazing.
Amazing!
That was on our amazing knitting machine show, remember?
Yes, I do remember that. It was a very fanciful show.
And
Now,
what
what do you
would you
have
do around here?
have some purple
I'm
there.
gonna detail in that area a little bit and Let's see.
We'll use, what color we'll use there now?
I have a brilliant blue.
Oh,
just
that's
for
kind
contrast.
of, yes,
know,
a
so you
beautiful
can-
blue.
so
Kind of
you
like
can
the
just-
sky. Oh, that does
Just
wonders,
filling
doesn't it?
That whole curve.
Yeah.
The yellow and blue and the red.
Did you see my watch?
No.
It's amazing,
Oh,
isn't
it's
it?
amazing.
It's an amazing watch.
It's
What
an
can we
amazing
say?
watch.
The amazing timepiece. That'll be on next week.
Marcy, answer me this. Are there any rules in this?
No rules.
Everything
Absolutely
seems
no
to just be
rules.
like haphazardly thrown upon the
Well-
canvas of
No,
the
but you have
frame.
to be an artist, don't you?
No.
Anybody can try this?
Anybody can do this.
But you have to like
Anybody.
color, I think.
You have to like, well, you can do it without color. You can do it black and white.
You could just pretend you're doing it.
Yeah.
So would you?
And sometimes I leave natural wood too.
Ah, so you have the
So
natural
that you
wood
mix
color.
it up, yeah. Or you can take a surface decoration and do it on the molding, or divide the moldings, or add molding.
So you
Truly
could
amazing.
glue something on and then paint that.
Sure, sure.
Well, now where would you be selling this? At your store?
Yeah, at my store, or
Do you do commission work
yeah,
too?
commission work. People
Wow,
can
that's-
contact me.
Anyone who wants to buy it, they can look up Marcy. And Marcy, it's been really great. We'll come back to you
Okay,
again
I'm
just
gonna
to say
finish
goodbye.
After this, what would you do? Would you put a kind of a top coat on it?
I could probably give it a shine.
What did I tell you, Hyde?
protect
Are these
it.
amazing people or
It's
what?
really
Let's go
amazing,
see Bill
Howard.
Russell now and see what he's
we'll
up to.
see you and thank you at the end of the show, Marcy.
All right, Bill, what have you got for us?
Well, I finished up putting the vinegar paint on here, and it's just about dried down. You can see now it's not very interesting because the color's gotten a little bit subtle with the
And it's
drawing.
dried
Yeah.
flat,
It's
I see.
really,
Right.
really interesting. I like the way it's all repeated all
Okay,
the
this
way
was
across
done, remember,
there.
with our piece of glazing
With the
compound.
glazing.
Okay,
How
now.
did you
Sample.
figure out how to do that?
Well, you know, you play around with the materials and things begin to happen. That's the way
Now
it
you
You
is.
have a
sort of
drawer here.
invented the glazing material situation?
I worked, these are 19th century materials, and I've just sort of adapted some of the old techniques to newer materials and new media. This is a drawer that we did exactly like this.
So it's the same green.
Same green,
Same gray.
violet, same gray violet.
Only this one has been varnished.
been varnished,
So with
okay.
the varnish, the gray is intensified a little bit.
Right.
And now you've got the taped pinstripe line that you will
Exactly.
peel off for us.
Okay.
And we'll see the dramatic results.
And if everything
You
goes
won't
right.
believe it. I'm telling you, as soon as he gets that thumbnail under there, removes that tape, you'll see it's truly amazing. Is that amazing or is that not amazing, Hyde?
Green pinstripe that
Right.
matches the green that goes across there
Exactly.
and picks that up.
Right, now I could add another stripe if I wanted to. I've got a little paint bottle here with a roller on it, and I could use this little mechanism and I could add a stripe of another color around here if I wanted to. So I could even bring out the color a little bit more vividly by adding, say, an orange stripe on here, which would vibrate the color. So that gives me another option. I've also got another drawer here that I want to show you.
This is another
one-
drawer with a different
this is a
type of
drawer with a
technique.
different technique using a brush. And we've just pounced the paint here, just kind of taken the brush and sort of just
And
all
that
over
was
the
done with
surface.
vinegar too.
Vinegar paint, yeah, but this way it opens up more. You get a more sort of amorphous, kind of amoebic look on the
Very amorphous.
Very amorphous.
And
So-
very, very amazing.
So-
So let's now go see what Charlotte's doing.
And people can purchase these things from you too.
Oh, absolutely. I have my own gallery, my own showroom, and I do custom work as well.
And it's called the Bill Russell Studio,
Right.
Northern Liberties, Philadelphia. Thank you, Bill, for being
We'll
with us.
see you soon,
Okay,
Bill.
guys.
Amazing.
Here we go
Hello,
to Charlotte.
Hey!
She's got taken for granted. Boy, I can't believe it.
What are you doing now?
Well, I'm putting a clear coat on this piece that I've been working on this morning so that you can, the colors sort of kick in a little higher and it looks a lot more like granite.
It's nice
In
and
fact,
shiny.
Yeah.
What
But I
depth?
want to show you something really
What's that?
amazing. Really
Chaim, wait till you
amazing.
see this. I know what
Watch
she's doing.
this.
I'm making believe I don't.
We're
But
going
watch.
to change
Watch this.
this granite from
This is
granite
special. Watch.
to
Watch.
Egyptian porphyry.
Look at
Oh,
that.
Changing the
Isn't
It's
that
like
amazing?
a raspberry color.
It's a clear.
It looks like grape jam.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very pretty.
Egyptian porphyry. That's the color. That's
And I can't help but
I
notice
used
this.
to be porphyry, then I got into infomercials.
Now we're both rich.
Oh, that's okay.
well,
that
actually,
was
it's not.
amazing.
We need
What
that.
is Egyptian porphyry anyway?
It's a sedimentary stone that comes from Egypt.
A
Now-
sedimentary stone.
Yes, layers. Now, we
My
like to
cousin's
try-
a sedimentary
Let me show you
stone.
something else.
That's amazing.
Something else?
Yeah.
Listen, look,
Here.
I can't help but see this pot she's
Let
had
me-
here. This is an ordinary clay pot.
I need this. Well,
Is that-
I'll bring you. I'll
Bring me
get you
that
this
cup.
cup.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
okay, Charlotte.
This is
That's what I'm here for.
'Cause
to
he's
run around.
amazing.
I can run around and
was so
get you
fast.
things.
Now, if you take a little bit of white onto
Yes,
this, and you've
this
done
is-
the same effect on
same
here.
granite on terracotta.
That's
on
a pot.
It's a pot.
It's a pot.
Granite.
It's
But
a
now,
simple,
and
inexpensive
We'll make it
plant,
That's a feather.
plant pot.
And now, with a feather, oh, you can do a grain. like a marble vein on
Now
the...
it's marble.
Look how it's fluttering like that, like an angel's
I
wing.
can't believe it.
So excited. There now. Clay, wood, granite, marble.
Anything.
It's amazing.
And you know, I want to show you. Can you get me those over there?
I'll get them for you.
I want to show you. She's even decorated a pair of my boots. Is that amazing or is that not amazing?
Look at that. Speckled boots.
Now, you can't tell me that's not amazing.
Charlotte, we want to thank you.
Thank you
It's
very much,
amazing.
Charlotte.
Well, that's it for another edition of Amazing Things with Paint. And we want to thank our guests, Charlotte Below to Take It for Granted,
And Bill Russell of Bill Russell Studios.
and Marcy Hartman of Marcy and Company.
And remember, all of the things that they've used on this show are available in any paint store in any part of the world.
And we want to thank our studio audience because you're amazing.
Too. Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Well, until next time when we do some other amazing things with paint, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yes, amazing.
Let's go, show.
No water. Amazing.
Guys, can you come into the control room right away?
What?
What's that?
It just came over CNN that an alien being met with the president and has given us all the secret to eternal life.
Your point?
Is that bloody supposed to be bloody amazing or what?
Call the agent.
Let's go see Goldstein. Give him a call.